the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Good morning, Santa Barbara Teen Sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We welcome you all to join us
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. right after the news. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes and all the people and all. Put it right now. Put those hands together for those businesses. Support those teen athletes. I love those businesses. We are raking it in. Everybody that became part of that Old Town Roundup campaign, the checks are rolling in. I love it. Sit. Raphael at Pepe's. That's all I got to do is say your name.
Pepe's.
Love Pepe's. You know, he's such a really great guy. I'm telling you. See, because, you know, they've got a lot of different boxes. I don't know if you noticed it, but every time, you know, you've got, I don't want to say, okay. What's the name of it? Is it Unisys? What's the name of it? Is it What is it? UNICEF.
Yes.
UNICEF. Well,
right.
you know, that's because the pictures they use are quite descriptive. But I put that one behind the plant because, you know, we got to have Guilin Boys and Girls Club in front of that register. Okay?
That's right.
So when that UNICEF person, you know, we have to share the love because their box was full. Okay, and ours had some money, but is not as quite full. So I was figuring it's location, location, location. So if our box was in front of the register, I just thought it would just prompt people more. And, you know, it really worked because 3 days later I did a little, I bought some food, you know, catered some food, or I bought some food to be catered. And I went in there and, you know, something, it was correct because they added more money that way. So I'm sorry, but I had to do that. What do you think about that, Ronnie?
I think it was great. And I love Pepe's. Pepe's is wonderful. They support Santa Barbara riders in each and every one of our endeavors.
It's fantastic. And they just never stop. You just ask, and he gave me free chips and salsa. How about you? Nothing? No?
Free chips and salsa
Did
and
you?
Guacamole.
And I didn't do the guac. I forgot to ask. Oh, my goodness. Ronnie's of agent.
You shouldn't have to ask.
Why am I the only one clapping? Why am I the only clapping? Oh, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good?
I'm good. You know, I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, we missed you.
And, well, I had the dentist thing, so the timing was wrong. And then next week, I'll be on the road. We're doing a motorcycle trip. I'm going to head over to Fresno and then up to Gold Country and then over Sonora Pass to June Lake.
Nice.
So that's going to take a few days.
Nice. So this is just for fun, like not for like fundraising.
It's
just
for fun.
Just fun. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of our friends is having a birthday at June Lake.
Wow.
So we're excited about that. He goes there every year, and he's opened it up to everybody.
Nice. Sweet. Can I go?
You can go.
I was just wondering. I don't know.
Sure,
they have
why
an airport
not?
there? Or am I going to go on a bike?
Just meet us there in June Lake.
Oh, yeah? I can figure it out. Maybe. You never know. Ronnie! To my right, Dominique Hackett! Woo!
Good morning, Erica.
All right, you got something to share, and I forgot the rosemary. Every time before the show, I get this text, you know, please, you know, remember, that's what we talked about, you know, the spotlessness of your bed, okay? And the little bear on the bed, all right? It was really cute. You know, I did that last week, and I forgot the rosemary this week.
I know. This week I harvested rosemary, and I was going to share rosemary with everyone, so I'll have to bring some for next week. But I was going to talk to everyone about rosemary really fast. Do you know that rosemary is good for memory? They've actually known this for hundreds of years. So not only just breathing it in helps, but putting a little sprinkles of rosemary on your food helps with your memory, helps with anti-inflammatory issues, and it's just all around really healthy.
And who are you?
Your name?
And rosemary is in the mint family. I thought that's kind of interesting. But
great. Yeah.
So everybody needs
memory and mint.
Enhancement. So,
Like the M&Ms.
Exactly.
Well, what I liked is what she did do. We had a barbecue over the Memorial weekend, and I see that what she did is I didn't have any sticks, you know, for the barbecue, you know, because we did little chunks of salmon. We did the whole thing because I got the new Weber. Okay. And I love that Weber. And she just used these sticks from the rosemary. And I was looking at them and I'm like, I didn't know where it was. And I'm smelling them. I go, where'd you buy these? And she goes, it came from your bush. And I'm like, oh!
Teen sports radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this really big rosemary plant.
I'm getting hungry.
Yes. And she just broke it off. And basically it was funny because she only broke off like half of it. So I'm like, okay. It was good though. So talk about that. That's a good thing, you know, to reuse it.
Yeah, well, my thing is I like to teach kids that they can stay healthy by everything that's around them. So every herb that their family, their mothers, fathers are feeding them, their food is really good for their health, good for school, good for sports.
Nice. Dominique Hackett. Always a wonder. To your left and my left, we got two doctors in the house right now. We got Dr. Jessie Carroll, Dr. May Chandler. Woo! Dr. Jessie, what's going on?
Let's see. Business is really taken off. I'm very, very busy. It's awesome.
Nice.
Doing some stuff with Kisi Bella Spa, and coming up soon here, going to be doing some things with the Santa Barbara Public Market, connecting food and health. Yeah,
Nice.
super fun.
Love the public market.
Isn't it awesome?
It's a great place.
It's so great. Yeah, I love what they're all about over there.
So it's what it is. You have to sign up. How's that work?
Well, one of the guests that I brought with me today can talk a little bit more about that in a little while.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right. To your left, Dr. May Chandler.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Nate and I moved this weekend
Where?
to Olive and which street are we on? Victoria.
Nice.
I know, walking distance
You can't
from
beat
here.
that. I know. That's
Walking
awesome.
distance for my husband too to work.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I got back from Arkansas from my sister's graduation.
Right.
And he looks at me and he says, "Dear," and I said, "Yes, dear." He goes, "I think I broke my foot," and he did, and he's in a boot.
That is so funny. How handy.
Good thing his wife's a podiatrist.
Oh, serious? How,
No.
do you have the surgery? Would you operate
no surgery.
on your husband?
No.
No, you wouldn't do it?
No.
Why?
I just think ethically, I think you're not supposed to.
Really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
I never knew that.
I know.
Treat family.
But good thing he
I'm my
doesn't need
ex-husband's
surgery.
financial advisor still.
Yeah.
Why is it different? Oh, it's not medical. But we have like medical, Wikipedia. in the house.
Exactly,
It's nice.
right?
I know. I never. Would you think that's a big deal? I
No.
wouldn't think that's a big deal. It's a foot. You got two.
I know, right? But I don't know.
Spare one.
Exactly. It's not like a
Put a
kidney.
wheel on the other one.
That's true.
Yeah, that's not. And you're a fellowship. Does anybody know what that? You're a fellowship.
Exactly,
podiatrist.
right?
I mean, how many are there in Santa Barbara? Oh, none. Okay, yeah, you. Okay, yeah. So if I had to go to somebody, how can you find somebody better than you?
Yeah,
Okay,
you'd have
whatever.
to go thousands of
You
miles
get a lot
away
of
from here.
honey-loving presents. You get a lot of that before the surgery. Okay, that's awesome.
At least he's better, and he didn't have to have surgery.
He didn't, but if he would have been listening to me the past couple of years about his running shoes and his form,
Right.
this probably never would have happened.
He
but
broke his foot running.
So what's
he
your
did.
point?
He doesn't listen to me, and I don't know if he even has that boot on right now. Nate,
I'll
you're
bet he
out there
doesn't.
somewhere.
No, it's hard to wear those boots. Let me tell you.
It
No,
is. They're not very comfortable.
No, you get a lot. I like it though. Sometimes I wear it even when I don't have a foot issue. If I want a little bit. People do merge on you. This is Santa Barbara.
in the airport,
very giving.
It's a really good
Sympathy
idea.
on the line at Disneyland.
I know, especially if you take a
Disneyland.
deep breath in between strides. It's awesome. No,
Yeah.
Not that I know anything about it. I know. Oh, it's okay. Can I help you?
Ow.
I know. I like it. Well, you taught me.
Exactly,
It's
right.
nice. It's awesome. I have two, by the way.
There you see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nate's asking for another one,
Is
but
he?
I told him no.
No, because I have a big foot. I don't know. Does he have 10? I have size 10. No?
Yeah.
No? I do. I'm leasing them. Leasing boots.
There you go.
That's what I'm
a good
doing.
idea.
All right. On that note, Dr. D is giving me the smushy sign. That means we got to go. It's go time. It's Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
at 9 a.m. right after the news. Dr. May Chandler.
Yes.
Dr. May Chandler.
Paging doctor.
There you go. Hey, you brought some guests. Who'd you bring
I
today?
did. So I have two guests. I have Ashley Coelho. Did I say it right? Yep. Yeah, I've been practicing.
Nice.
She is a coach for golf and for track at Ynez High School.
Nice. Put your hands together. Woo! Thank you for being here. Nice.
And she brought one of her superstar track runners with her today.
Nice.
So I know Ashley because I actually did foot surgery on Ashley.
Aww.
And she just told me today that she went for a run.
Nice.
Woo! No pain.
No pain.
No pain.
No pain. Well, you know.
So we're very excited about that.
Nice.
So thank you girls for coming today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So tell me, what's going on out at Santa Ynez track?
Well, just this last weekend, we finished up with CIF finals over at Cerritos College. Jackie placed second in Division 4 and ran a 55.93, and she's ranked currently 4th in the state of California.
Holy
Ooh, look at that.
Congratulations.
nice.
So we're looking to dominate at CIF Masters this weekend. It's going to be this Friday night. She'll be running in just the 400, so she'll be very fresh. And hopefully we'll get another PR. She's ran a fastest PR time this year of 55.09. And we're looking for her to finally drop into the low 54s. So we've been training really hard.
I'm not
Nice.
sure what those numbers mean, but when you said 4th, I got that.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I like that.
She's been beating a lot of boys.
It sounds like it. So where's this Friday event going to take place?
This Friday will also be at Cerritos College.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So, Jackie, how did you get into running?
Okay. Well, I first started running when I was 8 years old, and my dad worked at home. So summers were really tough because me and my brother are both very loud, hyperactive children, so it's hard to write code.
He was chasing you.
Well, he was chasing me out of the house. He told my brother and I that we couldn't come back in the house until we ran a mile. So I was really proud of my 14-minute mile. I only stopped twice, so that's pretty good for an 8-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
How old were you?
I was 8.
8 years old.
Yeah, so that's my first time running, and then from then on, like after seeing how fast that first mile was, they're just kind of like, you should do cross country and track. So,
Right.
yeah.
Now, so what do you do a mile in now, or do you do miles anymore? You just run over hills and
I'm a
dales?
sprinter.
Okay.
My fastest mile is 5:56, which isn't that good.
So what is your favorite cross country part? I mean, there are different things to do in cross country, correct? Different distances. No, you just run until they tell you to stop running. I don't understand.
For cross country, it's a 5K or it's a 3 mile. So,
But you're a sprinter. So
yeah, I'm a sprinter. I know.
Tell me the distances that are your favorite.
For track,
Yeah.
my favorite is definitely the 400. My favorite race is probably the 4x4 relay, where 4 girls run a total mile, basically. So everyone runs a 400, which is a lap.
That is so awesome. I have to tell you a little story of mine. I ran my fastest for 40 doing the mile relay at a school that was graded, a lot better, a lot higher than us. So we came in last, but I ran my fastest. Have you had experiences with other schools that have better runners and it's pushed your time up?
Yeah, definitely.
Time down?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have great girls running on our team, but definitely we've had some competition where they might have some faster girls out in the front. So a lot of our 4x4 relays will be like maybe 3rd or 2nd, and I like to win. So that last race, I just put it all out there, and there's a lot of times where we've been in 4th place, and I've been able to make up like 100 meters sometimes and get first. So
That is thrilling.
yeah, we've done that. We've done that to San Marcos a couple times. So they're rivals.
So, Jackie, do you do any other sports?
I do cross country and track. When I was younger, I did basketball in middle school, but after having the experience of being literally the worst person on the team, I decided running was the thing for me.
Are there any famous runners that you look up to?
Yeah, definitely Steve Prefontaine. I just love his philosophy with running. Like, my favorite quote of his is, the best pace is a suicide pace, and today's a good day to die. Because it's just the philosophy you need to run a 400, definitely.
Right.
Absolutely. And I'd like to make a plug for track, because going out for track was so fantastic. I love playing soccer, but I learned so much from the track workouts. And I did sprinting as well as long distance, just for the fun of it, because you have friends who are doing lots of different kind of runs and stuff. Tell me what your typical day is like when you're doing a track practice. What do you do?
All right. Well, I'm the captain, so a lot of my track practice involves yelling at my teammates. We warm up. We do 3-lap warm up, which is great. And then we go into whatever our workout is, whatever Coelho has us do. She uses her college coach's workouts, so they're always really unpleasant.
Do you have a favorite hill that you have to do?
Oh, yeah, actually, I think it's Quail Valley. We have this hill. They actually make us do sprints up it, believe it or not, 10 sprints. And I think the hardest part for most of us sprinters is just jogging down, because we're used to running a lap, and then we have to run like half a mile to wherever it is.
So, Coach, so I will just not even say Coelho, but I'm getting it now. What would be some of your highlights from this year?
From this year, definitely the fact that our girls squad went completely undefeated in league. So Jackie's actually wearing the T-shirt that I made for our girls squad. It says 2015 Los Padres League, girls varsity track and field undefeated champions. Yeah, and there was actually 9 girls that I took to Roundtable. Jackie was honored actually as Athlete of the Week. Those 9 girls that I specifically took to Roundtable scored 107.5 of the points out of the 128 that we scored as an entire team. So those 9 girls are very impressive, and the majority of them are coming back. So we're looking forward to having another undefeated season next year.
Nice.
At least that's the plan.
So what motivates you to coach besides these amazing athletes? Is it so that you can run with the athletes?
Honestly, I think that it all starts back from when I was in high school, and I learned a lot from my own high school coach. His name was Greg Sarkeesian, but we always called him Sark. I went to St. Joseph High School in Santa Maria, and basically he pushed me to be the person that I am now, both in my math teaching career and also in my coaching career. Basically, his whole philosophy is just get out there and do what you want and get it done. And so that's what I've done. And so my whole thing with my kids is, it doesn't necessarily mean if you're a top ranked athlete. All that matters to me is that you give 100% all the time, every time. And you'll see improvements, whether you're a really elite runner or an average runner or a new runner. All we care about as coaches is improvements.
Awesome. I like that answer.
So what would you say is the most important thing to you about coaching?
The most important are the bonds you form with each of those individual kids. They're like family. So as the season progresses, you all have your inside jokes and you have your funny stories. You have the good road trips. This last particular one, the girls almost drove me crazy. They were incredibly loud for 3 hours in the car. So listening to all of them laugh and joke the whole way down is actually kind of nice though. So it's fun. So they make coaching fun.
So last question, and we got to go to break. But Coach, where do you think Jackie would be a best fit for her in college? Because she's probably going to run in college.
She sure is. Yeah, she's got a scholarship going out to Berkeley.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's the best question. Last question. Matter of fact, I've got 3 Berkeley students, my son's friends at the house right now shooting hoops. They all want to be doctors. Yes, I will tell them. So kudos to you for everything that you do in the community, because coaches it's like that. It's kind of like being a farmer. I fool around, you know what I mean? It's got to be in your blood to do it. Yeah. And it's because of your childhood experience, and we're blessed to have you in the community doing what you're doing. And I can tell just by listening to Jackie, you're an amazing coach. So we appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. So this is Eric is Salda. We're going to take a short little break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is a Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m. right after the news. And who's going to help me tell the world where we're located?
We're on Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
YouTube,
Yes.
and the internet.
Yes.
Teen Sports Radio. Ready, girls? .com.
That's the doctors and doctors in the house. That's right. Dr. Jessie Carroll had her head down. What, you would bounce it off the table or what?
Yeah, it's for the acoustics.
That's awesome. She's quick. She's a doctor. She's very fast. Okay, that's awesome.
Yep, quick.
All right, who'd you bring? You brought us some guests today.
I did. I have a couple guys here that started something called the WillRiseProect here in Santa Barbara. I've got Derek Guilin and Jason Hernandez.
Woo! Thank you for being here.
So I will let them explain about what it is they do here.
Definitely.
Yeah, so the WillRiseProect is really a passion project that me and Jason started last summer. It's a kind of we wanted to build a unique brand.
Yeah, a cross between creativity, building awareness of art locally, along with building a group of artists that we could creatively combine forces and...
helping local artists gain more notoriety in the community. And we always kind of want to live outside the mainstream, do it ourselves. Like I said, it's a passion project. It's a dream project. We used to live together and talk about it, after we get off work, what we wanted to do. And then we kind of just made it a reality last year.
So what kind of artists are you inspiring?
Well, I've been drawing my whole life. I do a lot of figure drawing, and I've been trying to, just kind of get my work out there. And when Derek came back from South America, we kind of put our heads together, figured it out. Went and got our LLC. We made an art show at Blue Agave last July. It's almost a year ago. And that's kind of how we got the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and more recently, we've been kind of developing the charitable side of our business. We call it Will Give. And so we've been throwing fundraisers. We had a silent auction at Santa Barbara Brewing Company. We also did a live date auction at Sandbar a couple weeks back. It was pretty interesting. We paired people with specific dates to kind of highlight different areas of Santa Barbara. And we ended up raising, I think, a couple $1,000s. And what we've been doing with this money is funneling it back towards the Turner Foundation. It's a local nonprofit, and they provide low-income housing on the west side. And so every Monday night, we've been spending our evenings teaching art classes to the kids that live at the property. It's called The Village.
This is really huge because our whole next generation is really about right brain mentality, and that has to do with the artists within all of us.
Right.
So encouraging the arts to come out, it's helping everything. It's not only helping us develop as individuals, but it's going to help our society.
Absolutely, and that's kind of how it started too. Is I'm not artistic at all. Jay is the artist of all artists. I bow down to him, but I've always kind of watched him. We've been friends for a long time, and I had no understanding of how he was doing these things. And so our idea for Will Give was to help kids develop a new skill set, realize the artist that's inside of them, and especially the kids that live at the Village, to give them more opportunity, because you never know if you're an artist. You never know if you're going to be a mathematician or, run a restaurant or anything. But if we can help them develop skills that can move them forward in their lives.
What ages do you work with?
15 to about 18.
We've got some younger ones too. There's a couple crazy kids from that. I think our youngest one is 10, and our oldest one was 19 in this class. So we're doing 6-week projects.
It seems like it's a great opportunity for youngsters and of other ages to get involved in art and to help stimulate them and keep them motivated to do other things. Now, I live down in the West Beach area. Mm-hmm. It's no longer there, but there was a wall of a building because it's part of that new project, and there was art going on that building, and right there at Mason and State. That was part of a couple of retail outlets there.
Yeah, they tore it down recently, right?
Well, because they had to because of the project. Were you guys involved in any of that?
No, that was kind of before we got started. It was something I was kind of interested in but never followed through with. But it's ran by the Funk Zone area.
Yeah,
that's actually where we have our office now. We have a little office studio over there.
Because when you see that kind of art, and you see people that are involved in it, and it's ongoing and it's changing, so it's important area anywhere where you can get a canvas.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
what's in the public eye is kind of pretty cool.
A canvas
cool.
and some paint.
Yeah.
These kids have been working specifically with spray paint, which is fun and challenging at the same time. What we did is we bought every kid a skate deck, and so that Jay's been leading the class and teaching them.
We did a lot of events where we were raffling off skate decks that I painted, so that kind of, I thought, like, stuck true to the kids, something that may be interested in. They get a skate deck, they could ride it, they could paint it, they could hang it up on their wall.
Yeah, and then going off of that, do you guys remember a few weeks ago we had some kids in here to raise money for Jacob Kiefer, the kid that got really badly burned. So Jason and Derek here are going to gift him a custom skate deck.
Oh.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. Yes.
Well, getting art out into the community and supporting the local artists, it's so difficult to go from, oh, maybe I'm good, maybe I'm not good, to, wow, maybe I do have some talent and I should really take classes and help develop this. What do you say to kids in order to inspire them to go take those classes that may be afraid of taking?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's what I wanted to really put into their heads, that, like, art, it could be anything. You don't necessarily have to be, like, the best technical drawer. You could throw around paint, and that's what I kind of wanted to show them, to, like, give them the little bump to, like, be creative, to touch the creative side, to get them, like, involved, maybe using the right side of their brain, what they're not used to doing, always playing, like, sports or doing other things that kids could get involved in.
And also not to be afraid to take a challenge,
yeah.
to take a chance. I mean,
Outside the lines.
right,
Exactly.
be unique. That's kind of what our concept is. And touching back on Jacob, you know, don't succumb to peer pressure. Don't do silly things like that. There's more options. We wanted to be a positive influence, positive role model, give these guys a better conduit to a better life, as opposed to be, you know, succumbing to a fire challenge,
Right.
which was very sad and unnecessary.
Do you have any events coming up that you could tell us about?
We're actually he was just at Lightning in a
Yeah,
Bottle. He was
I
one of the
just-
featured artists out there.
I painted all weekend out there. It was really fun, really good experience.
But we have some unique concepts that we want to do. One of the things that Jay is really interested in is doing an installation. I'll let you describe it.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about, I don't know, trying to get my art into a new area. So, I don't know, I've been thinking installation, something three-dimensional. Might be fun, challenging.
Basically, where you take a painting and you stretch it out into
trying to
3D,
make my
build it up.
make it three-dimensional, something that's living almost.
Very cool.
So, I don't know, we'll see how that goes. It's something in the works.
But yeah, the people come. I mean, we're coming up with Will Give ideas all the time. So the fundraisers, the charity, that's not going
The
to stop.
classes are continuing.
We're specifically working with the Turner Foundation, but I want to make Will Give our own foundation so we can work with many different nonprofits within Santa Barbara.
You know what would be really cool, or I think it would be really cool, but my husband and I have gotten into the painted Cabernet, you know, but
Yeah.
I mean, and it's okay, but now we have like 10 painted things, you know, but it would be really cool.
You're tapping into your inner artist. That's
I
exactly
know.
what we're talking
We
about.
keep going.
Wine
and
involved in this.
there is. But I was thinking for like a fundraiser thing, if you guys had it like at a brewery or like one of the wine tasting places, and you had like some kind of thing where adults come, obviously 21 and up, but you know, to raise money for other events
Yeah.
that you guys want to
It's a
hold.
great idea.
Yeah, and like you would make something, but you guys would teach us obviously how to make it. But that would be
Yeah,
and a
and-
lot of those places down in the Funk Zone are way willing to.
So many
rent
places
their
have been
out.
more than willing. I mean, I really want to say thank you to the service industry, all the
yeah,
bars,
absolutely.
restaurants, and everybody that's contributed to us, because people, once they hear the concept, they latch onto it and they love it. So yeah, any ideas like that, I think painted Cabernet would be fantastic.
But not maybe the painted Cabernet, but something similar. You know,
the
like we could
concept,
make something
yeah.
different. 'cause
Yeah.
I have enough
As an
painted.
attorney, be very careful.
Right.
I have a question about your background and where have you
Okay.
studied and how did you get to this point?
Okay, well, art kind of runs in my dad's side of the family, so I've always had a knack for drawing since I was little. I noticed I had a real talent in high school. I took like in my senior year, I took an art class and I started drawing like figures, people, favorite musicians I liked, and noticed I really, had the concept down. I could draw a person pretty well, and then through that, in junior college, I got into graphic design, and I was taking art classes, which I think a lot of my work shows I have a lot of design background, like elements into it. But through that, I took graphic design. It was called the SOMA program at City College here in town. And then from there, I just been drawing on my own, trying to figure out what my style is and doing it just kind of organically, just figuring it out.
Hey, we're running out of time, but I want to give you guys a shout out. So how can we find you and how can we help you?
Well, everything is really under the Will Rise Project. It's WillRiseProect.com.
Facebook, Instagram
at
Will Rise Project.
And we have several other artists that we work with, and you can see all of our events and upcoming events, all the charity, all the kids that we work with, and everything on the website.
All right. Well, if you like what you heard today on today's programming, contact Will Rise Project and ask them how you can help them. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great community to ask.
Yeah,
You always
it's
receive.
wonderful here. We're local.
Oh, yeah,
boys.
it's a city of angels, that's for sure. This is Erica Salda. We're going to take a little short break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show, and I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. Wow, that's all I got to say. I'm loving it. We had a little art. Ronnie, you can't even believe what kind of show we have. We got a little art. We got the running.
I'm having a hard time believing it.
See, there's nothing like it. You like it?
I love it.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're part of it. That makes me excited. When are you going to bring a guest? No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just asking.
2 weeks.
2
weeks.
Oh, we're all waiting breathlessly to find out. Okay, it's fantastic.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, it's just good. It's wonderful. I love it. I am so happy and blessed because when we first got started today, I'm like, oh boy, because it was like one of those weekends where I didn't really feel like doing much, so I didn't focus on the show much, and I'm like, okay, who's going to be on the show today? I'm like, uh-oh. So the night before, of course, when I'm in Albertsons, going down the little thing, oh, Heather Bond, she will not let me down. Put your hands together for Heather Bond. And first of all, you've been out here probably 3 or 4 times, but your story, if this is the first time you're listening to Teen Sports Radio, I will give you best story because, in anybody's life, what you've had to experience and what you're doing and just you are living a ministry life. I mean, with everything that you're doing for kids, especially girls with Girls Inc., you're walking it, you're talking it. I just love everything that you're doing. But let's start from the beginning because everyone's looking at me. What are you talking about? Okay. Well, you went on a little trip with your mom, okay? Yes. And the year was?
2008.
Okay, 2008. That was a good year, too, for most of this country when everybody lost their money. But while they were losing money over here, you were where?
So while everyone was losing money over here, I was actually on a little spiritual journey, and it kind of started with this. I've been an athlete my whole life, got really injured. I was a firefighter with LA City, and I had a 200-pound ladder come down and snap my neck multiple places. And I thought after 2 years of structured rehab, I really wanted to go on a spiritual journey. And so my mom and I went to India, and after our 3-week journey, we ended up going to prison. And it just changed my life. So instead of 3 weeks, it turned into 3 months. And it was quite a spiritual journey. It changed everything, the way I look at so much, the way I train people, work with others, just on so many levels. So, it was quite a trip.
Okay, so let's just get to the crux of it, okay? You were importing, because you're an American terrorist, and you decided to import a magazine, okay?
Yes.
So how was that?
Yeah. So it wasn't your typical National Geographic magazine, but it unfortunately, I got a magazine of 9mm bullets that had been in my backpack, that I had been in the backcountry on a previous trip, and it got out. It went through 4 international airports. So there was a 9mm bullets, 11 of them, a cartridge, and we were coming home. We were heading back to New Delhi, and the man asked me if I had an umbrella in my backpack, and with a big smile on my face, I said, yes, I do. And he didn't grab the umbrella, but he reached into my backpack and he pulled out this magazine of bullets, and my mouth just dropped. I remember looking at my watch, looking at my mom, and I thought, I'll get this all taken care of. Before I knew it, it just went haywire. And I mean, they held us for 24 hours, and I was talking with embassy, trying to get a hold of my dad back home and my boyfriend at the time, and they drugged their feet on us. And then they came in 24 hours later with 2 arrest warrants, and I was like, there's no way. You cannot arrest my mom. I mean, but they guilty by association, and in hindsight, thank goodness, and it was an amazing, now we're going on our 7-year, actually, we just spoke about it before the show. We are going on our 7-year anniversary, and I have a beautiful daughter, not from that, but when I came back, a whole nother book, that's a whole nother story, but,
prison stay.
That's Jerry Springer. No, I'm just kidding. But because of that, I ended up coming home, and I have a beautiful daughter that came out of a very challenging, trying, but learning experience. Yeah.
So you were in prison in India?
I was.
With your mom?
With my mom.
Oh my gosh. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, it was, ironically, just a couple weeks ago, I was reading through my journals. The warden let me, I begged him really for me to take my journal in. And I was reading through it, and it's so bizarre when you read through these things at different periods of time. Like, as I read it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, that happened. Oh my gosh, that happened. And it's so surreal. And so, my mom and I wouldn't change a thing. While we were there, we would have changed a lot. But what we got from it and where we've come from it is just huge. And it was, I mean, you're talking third world country. I mean, it's not your prison here. You're sleeping on a cement floor. You have a wool blanket that we were issued. We got, I think, 1 plate between my mom and I, and 2 little cups. You couldn't drink the water. There was no, you have a slab in the ground. That's where you went to the bathroom. Most of the women just peed in the little gutter outside, and you worked just like you were you were a prisoner. You worked with them. You did all the, shucking of the chafing of the rice, doing all the basket stuff. I mean, you were in prison. And the hardest part, and I think the biggest learning experience there is we are so lucky here. And watching these women the first morning when these male guards came into the prison, and they started like shoving my mom and I down to the ground, and I'm watching these women, and they're going in the most submissive position, knees tucked. Of course, I had just had knee surgery before that too. I was like, oh gosh. And they were pushing you down, and you couldn't look at them. And it was just like, wow. I mean, so many levels of how lucky we are.
Did you get really picked on because you were Americans, or do you get favored because you were Americans? How'd that go down?
Yeah, that was interesting because it was a little of both. It was a little of both, meaning some of the prisoners felt sorry for us, and there were a couple in there. There was probably about 6 or 7 in there for murder, and one of them she was whoa. Like, I did not trust that woman at all, and she would really try to get up into my mom and push against her, and it took every ounce of my being to be on my best behavior, so it was, there were one of the guards, she would smuggle food into the prison for us. She would make it, and it got uncomfortable because the other prisoners started catching on, and I would watch her. Her name was Mataji, and she would walk by the prison, the bars, and she would drag her stick, ding, 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 and she would look over at me, and I'm like, oh gosh, not again, but I want the food, So it was a challenge on that.
So what would motivate her? Is she getting like an income stream right now, or what? No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously. What?
No.
Was she half American or what?
Not at all. Oh. Honestly, she felt bad. She knew. I mean, but there were the few that did feel sorry for us. There really were, and she felt bad. And she was the same age as my mom. And, she started getting me, I got her on an exercise program. I started getting them all on an exercise program, So, I started training all the prisoners, but yes.
What?
So that was very interesting, very interesting about that. So
how did the whole situation get resolved?
Well, that's another strange question, and we still to this day really don't know because it was a huge learning experience. I mean, it was a big communist party over there. We don't really know. All of a sudden, this man came in. He was one of the leaders for the Communist Party over there. Was up in West Bengal, and then all of a sudden Arnold Schwarzenegger wrote a letter. I mean, it was so big. It was very strange. We don't know. Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger's letter? We were supposed to leave and actually go back and stand trial. So we left on a...
So you're a fugitive.
I'm a fugitive. I am a fugitive.
So if you had tickets, a free trip, you wouldn't be going.
No, but my daughter wants to go. Oh. Mommy, can we go to India?
No.
Yeah, but I do know I can get out of the country. Yeah, because I have.
But not to India.
Not to India. And that's actually why I stopped one of my races. Too close to home.
Oh, I hear you. Hey, we've got another whole section. Don't go anywhere. All right. If you just joined us, we got Heather Bond in the house. Put your hands together. We take a short little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. Wow, that's all I got to say. But before I say any more, Dominique, where else are we?
We are on YouTube,
chasing the microphone,
Instagram, teensportsradio.com.
Oh, nice. Those are the two doctors just hung you out to dry. It's okay. Nobody wants to do anything.
We're not
That's
singers.
right. They're still in awe over this great story with Heather Bond. Put your hand together, Heather Bond. All right, so fast forward.
I've got a quick question. I'd like to know the exercise routine that you got everyone on in the prison. I'm really curious.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So it took a couple days for my mom and I to kind of get into the swing of things and just watch what was going on. And then I started, along with my mom, kind of doing some kind of Tai Chi, yoga-y stuff in the corner. And I just felt these women watching me. And I turned around and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, like so many of them are staring at me right now, or us. And so from that, the guard was the first one that came up to me, and she grabbed her stomach and she goes like, I spoke with these women, but I didn't speak their language. That was a fascinating thing. Hindi, Bengali, and Nepalese were the languages. And yet I had full-blown conversations with them, just like we are right now. And I didn't understand what they were saying, except for what we see and what we feel. Yeah. And that was very impactful. And before I knew it, I was running stairs with them up to the other floors of the ward. And, we're doing push-ups against the wall. One of the women in there, she was a medicine woman. She was awesome. She was 72 years old. She'll be in there for life. It was the saddest story. Her name was Bima Labos. And she would always go like this and show me her guns. And then she'd be doing push-ups against the wall once I got in there. And so it was all different. I had little sections all over the prison.
So what now, coming back after all of this, right? What have you done with that you're doing now in life?
Good question.
Very good question.
Whoa.
Very good question. Well, the first part was I got pregnant and I had a beautiful daughter, and I really just it took me a while to really process through this. I was a trainer by trade. I went on this venture because I lost my firefighting career and my racing career, and due to my injury. But what I'm doing now is I'm a trainer and a nutritionist. That was my trade for 20 plus years, and I really take women out and do lifeless stuff now. That's been my big thing. I have an online membership site coming out soon, heatherbondnow.com, which is awesome. And it's really just teaching not just women, but I specialize, my niche is kind of women 40 and above, to make things sinful, fun, simple, and effective, because there's so much out there and people don't even know where to begin these days. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do in a nutshell.
So when you are working, you're a private trainer. So how do we get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me a couple different ways. You can go to heatherbondnow.com and you can actually sign up for my newsletter, and I have a forum on there. There's a lot of different stuff coming out with that, and it's been a work in progress for a couple years. Just because I don't want to be the 45-year-old trainer working at 5 o'clock in the morning. I refuse to do that. So I also occasionally I'm stopping back in at Superior Fitness, and I'm going to be doing some certain little things there. I'd been there for 4 years and branched out on my own. But speaking of Superior Fitness, I do want to say we have one of our dear friends and clients there. He's a 23-year-old boy, Mikhail, and he ended up getting leukemia. They thought he had the flu, and his mom took him in and found out that he has leukemia.
Go to heatherbondnow.com if you want to join any of the things that she's got going on. I got to thank Jessie, Carroll, May, Chandler, Dominique, Ronnie, Shahbazian. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We love Santa Barbara. See you next week.
Drove across the South about a day or two. Traveled on the road just to make you happy. As the rise.
Please tune in and join us next Tuesday at KZSB AM 1290 at 9:06 a.m. when we will go behind the scenes with the local students, athletes, coaches, parents, volunteers, and all other teen sports supporters. This is all brought to you by ePro Insurance Agency, leader in gift planning and wealth preservation since 1983. So please follow along and support our student athletes by reading the Santa Barbara News Press, and then join me, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen, Dr. Dugan, my co-host, friends, teens, every week on the Santa Barbara News Press radio station.